Thanks for joining us for the Purdue University-CME Group Ag Economy Barometer survey results from the March 2023 survey. I'm Jim Mintert, Director of the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture, and I'm going to share with you the highlights from this month's survey. The Ag Economy Barometer Index was 117 this month. That's down 8 points compared to last month's reading of 125, but that was still up 4 points compared to a year earlier. We looked at the index of current conditions and the index of future expectations. Current conditions index was down 8 points compared to last month, and that left it 11% higher than it was in March 2022. The future expectations index was down 8 points compared to last month. That was no change compared to March of 2022. The Farm Financial Performance Index reading of 86 was unchanged from last month and really just 1 point below a year ago. When we followed up and asked producers what their biggest concerns are for their farming operation in the upcoming year, higher input costs remain the #1 concern. But compared to results we received last summer and early fall, the percentage of producers concerned about rising interest rates has increased since last summer. Fewer producers appear to be worried about input availability than last summer, but more producers are concerned about the risk of lower crop and/or livestock prices than what we observed last summer. This month's Farm Capital Investment Index reading of 42 was down 1 point compared to last month, but was up 6 points compared to a year ago. However, when you compare the results to 2 years ago, the index remains 52% below its level of 2 years ago. And we followed up and asked producers who said now is a bad time to make large investments in their farming operation and asked them what their primary reason was. The percentage of producers pointing to higher interest rates as a concern has been rising over time, and March was the first month that more producers chose rising interest rates than increasing prices as a reason why now is a bad time to make large investments. The short-term farmland value expectation index was down 6 points this month to a reading of 113 compared to 119 last month. The long-term index, however, was actually up 5 points compared to February, but remained 4 points lower than it was 1 year ago. Looking at the responses to the short-term farmland price expectation question, you can tell that overall sentiment is still positive, but the percentage of producers who expect values to decline in the next year continues to rise. This month, 20% of the producers in the survey said they expect lower values in the next 12 months, compared to just 14% that felt that way last month. This month's survey included questions about producers' perspectives on both the ethanol industry and the renewable diesel industry. In this month's survey, just 25% of the producers said they expect to see a larger ethanol industry 5 years from now than what we have today. But when you contrast those results with respect to expectations for renewable diesel, 46% of the producers in the survey said they think the renewable diesel industry will be significantly larger 5 years from now than it is today. And we followed up and asked producers what they thought the impact of the renewable diesel industry would be on prices they receive for soybeans. And producers are relatively optimistic about renewable diesel's impact on soybean prices. 2/3 of the producers in this month's survey said they expect renewable diesel to boost soybean prices by up to $1 a bushel. That wraps up the highlights of the Purdue CME Group Ag Economy Barometer March 2023 survey. You can get the full report on our website, purdue.edu/agbarometer. And you can also get more details on our podcast, Purdue Commercial AgCast, which is available on all the major podcast providers, as well as the purdue.edu/commercialag site of the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture. On behalf of the Center for Commercial Agriculture, I'm Jim Mintert. Thanks for joining us. March 2023 survey.